Hello friends. So today I am going to discuss what is active voice and what is passive voice. First of all, let us see what is voice. So voice in grammar shows whether the subject is the doer of the action, the performer of the action or receiver of the action. So if the subject is the doer of the action, then the sentence or the verb is called to be in active voice. Similarly, if the subject is the receiver of the action, then the sentence or verb is called to be in passive voice. So this is the basic difference between active voice and passive voice. Let me make you more easier to understand. Active voice, in active voice, subject is the doer. You can say performer of the action. Means subject performs the action. Subject does the action. For example, here is a sentence of active voice. Rahul eats an apple. So here verb is eat. So who is eating the apple? It's Rahul. So Rahul is the subject and he's performing the action. That's why this sentence is in active voice. Whereas in the second sentence, an apple is eaten by Rahul. So here the action is received by Rahul, not performed by Rahul. So object here is in focus. So we can say that an apple is eaten by Rahul. This sentence is in passive voice because here Rahul is not the doer of the action but receiver of the action. So this sentence is in passive voice. So this is the basic difference. So let us see what happens when we change an active voice into passive voice. Here I have taken one example of active voice. He writes a letter. So we have seen here there is a subject, there is a verb, there is an object. And the same sentence is converted into passive voice. A letter is written by him. So what are the changes we see when we change an active sentence into passive sentence? So let us see. So what we are finding here, the object in the active sentence, a letter, it has become a subject in the passive voice. Similarly, the subject of the active voice, it has become an object in the passive voice. In the verb write, this has changed into is plus third form of the verb. So these are the basic changes when we change an active voice into passive voice. Note, in passive voice, the verb will be always in third form. In all type of passive voice, you will see the verb will be in third form. So let us see how different types of sentences they are converted from active voice to passive voice. They are changed from active voice to passive voice. So here is a chart for you. You can call it tense voice chart or simply voice chart. So we have three tenses: present, past and future. And we all know each tense has four subtypes. For example, simple continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. So all in all, there are 12 tenses: simple present, simple past, simple future, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous. Similarly, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, and so on. So we will see how all these sentences of all the tenses are being changed into passive voice. So let us start from the very first one, simple present tense. So here the sentence written in blue ink is an active voice, and the sentence written in red one is in passive voice. He writes a letter. Suppose this is a sentence which is in simple present tense. The same sentence has been converted into passive voice. It becomes a letter is written by him. Similarly, simple past tense, he wrote a letter. Here, second form of the verb is used. So, a letter was written. So, in present tense, it was, in passive, it was is written. Whereas in simple past, it was written. So, you are seeing the third form of the verb everywhere. Similarly, he will write a letter will be written by him. Similarly, in continuous tense, What is the changes? He is writing a letter. This is an active voice, and it is changed into passive voice by introducing is plus being plus third form of the verb. So is plus being plus third form of the verb. This is the structure of active passive voice in present continuous tense. So what will its past continuous form? Was plus being plus third form of the verb. Here is an example. He was writing a letter. It will be changed into a letter was being written by him. And we also know future continuous tense has no passive voice. Please note it down that future continuous tense has no passive voice. Now come to the present perfect. So present perfect we will use has and have. So he has written a letter. The same sentence is written in present perfect. He has written a letter. How it will be changed into passive voice? A letter has been. Has plus been plus third form of the verb. So again we have seen the third form of the verb is used. Past perfect, in past perfect how it will be changed into passive voice? So we use had in past perfect. For example, he had written a letter. So in passive voice it will become had been plus third form. A letter had been written by him. In future we use will have. He will have written a letter. So in passive voice it will become a letter will have been written. So will plus have plus been plus third form of the word. Now come to the present perfect continuous tense. So present perfect continuous tense has no passive voice. Similarly, past perfect continuous tense has no passive voice, and future perfect continuous, has no passive voice. So out of 12 tenses, 4 tenses they don't have passive voice. So all in all, only 8 tenses have passive voice. So it will be easier for you to remember. You keep practicing this chart in your copy. Take any sentence, he writes a letter, he drives a car, whatever you want, and try to change into passive voice. So you will easily learn this chart. Now let us move to the next. When there is no passive voice. So we all know intransitive verb has no passive voice. In order to understand this, first you have to understand what is intransitive verb. So we all know intransitive verb are those verbs which does not take an object with itself. Means word without object, they are called intransitive verb. For example, sleeps, cry, weeps, smiles, flies. These all are example of intransitive verb. They never take an object with itself. So intransitive verb, they don't have passive voice. And we all know whenever we change an active sentence into passive voice, there is a need of object. Since intransitive verb has no object, so it has no passive voice. For example, here is a sentence, he sleeps. So there is no object here. The verb sleep has no object, so there is no passive voice. The baby cried. Again, cry has no object, so no passive voice. The word flies. Fly has no object, so no passive voice. They laughed loudly. So the word laugh has no object, so no passive voice. So I hope you have understood that intransitive verb has no passive voice. Let us move to the next type of sentence, that is imperative sentence. So how do we change an imperative sentence into passive voice? So what are imperative sentence? Imperative sentence are sentence that expresses commands, orders, or request, you can say, advice, you can say. These all are imperative sentence. So imperative sentence are changed differently into passive voice. For example, open the door. So here is an example of imperative sentence, a kind of order, you can say. Close the window, call the doctor. So how it is changed into passive voice? Open the door, it will be changed into let the door be closed, let the door be opened. Close the window, let the window be closed. Call the doctor, let the doctor be called. So what we are saying here, we have introduced an extra word let in every sentence, and the verb everywhere is third form: opened, closed, called. So an imperative sentences, when we change an imperative sentence into passive voice, it will start with the word let, then comes object, then we introduce be and third form of the verb. Now, how will you change a request sentence into an imperative passive voice? So suppose there is an example, please help me. So how this sentence will be changed into passive voice? So it will be changed like this: you are requested to help me. Please sit down. You are requested to sit down. Please be quiet. You are requested to be quiet. So you have introduced a word, some phrase you can say you are requested. Then you have used to plus third for first form of the word to sit down, to help. So this is the rule of changing a request sentence into passive voice. Then you can ask me, sir, how will you change a sentence which gives or expresses advice? For example, work hard. So how it will be changed into passive voice? So this is an advice, so we will introduce you are advised. Instead of saying you are requested, we can use you are advised to work hard. So this is how we change an imperative sentence into passive voice. So I hope you have understood the concept of active voice and passive voice. Thank you.